Okay, so welcome everybody. Monday night, 16th of September. Wow, the year's flying. Sarah and I just want to go through an overview of what they mentioned in Amsterdam. Now, before I forget, it's really, really important. If anyone has changed their address between when they first registered and now, please make sure that you go in and put your correct address in, especially if you've got phones coming, etc., because it can take a little bit to get your address changed. So just make sure you go back, have a look what address is there, because that is where the phone will be delivered to. So you want to make sure that you have that correct address. So we've got to just go through and do a couple of things. So CarrotNet launch event Amsterdam. So it was a pretty chock-a-block event. Lots and lots of information, and it's always challenging when you're not there to try and get through the language barriers. So done a fabulous job, Sarah. So I will let you just begin and you can share what you can. If you do happen to cut out, I'll take over because Sarah's got a little bit of wind there at the moment.
Not personally.
Not personally, sorry. Weather. Okay, so whoever's just joined, do you mind just muting yourself? That would be fabulous. Okay, take it away, Sarah.
Okay, cool. Thanks very much, Jeanette. Yeah, apologies if I do lose my signal. As Jeanette said, it's very, very windy here, and I've managed to get in on my phone. But yeah, I'll do my best, and Jeanette will take over if I do have problems. So yeah, I basically was up in the night watching the whole thing, glued to it, but it was extremely hard to understand their accents mainly. So if anyone else has tried to watch it, I can understand why people might be more confused trying to just understand what they're saying. So I've been hit there all day with the headphones in, hitting back and forth, trying to decipher what they're saying. So hopefully I've put an official summary, because there could be some bits in here that aren't 100% correct, but it'll give us an overview, and I'm sure we will get clarification on everything from somebody who was there. Jeanette and I and the other directors have a call in the middle of the night tonight to hear directly from NHTSA. So if there's anything we've got wrong or we've omitted, then we can fill everybody in after that. So basically, I've just really done the main points. There was a chit chat on K Merchant, but it was pretty much covered in the other bits of the presentations as well. So I didn't bother to do too much with that. So a video Toma was sort of the first of the main speakers. So he was primarily talking about CarrotNet, the mainnet, our blockchain, which he informed everybody it had gone live yesterday. So as of the 15th of September, the blockchain is live. He referred to it as the Champions League of the blockchain industry. And he was saying that it's a dynamic blockchain, which is actually the first in the industry. So he summarised that as being that it was faster and more reliable, obviously decentralised, open source, which is a huge one, and the fact that it's dynamic. So I mean, he really emphasised the speed, how fast this is. He showed, he took us through to a live call of one of his team, who were back at the server room or the data center. And I don't know if anyone saw this, but it blew my mind. They started off showing this guy in front of a rack of servers, which looked fairly impressive. And then a video asked him if he could just show us around a bit, and you saw another couple of racks. And then he panned out and sort of directed his camera down the room, and it was literally as far as you could see. There were racks and racks and racks of computer equipment, servers, nodes, whatever they're called. And he then said that this was only 10% of the total size of their data center. So it's just beyond what I could have comprehended size-wise. And, you know, obviously the investment that's gone into this is enormous. He then revealed our new product, the WIM did laptop, and he said it's so secure it can never be hacked over blockchain. So I'll go into a bit more of the features that will explain that, but it's obviously the companion to our K1 phone. So design features, looks really smart, black and gold, metal frame with gold finishes. Some of the features were, secure on and off switch, a slider switch for security, your usual things like camera, microphone, and your backlit keyboard. He then just quickly went through the hardware spec, and I won't dwell on it too much, other than to say that everything's there that you would expect to be there and more. Things like fingerprint reader, so that will store the information that's on your private key with your K1 phone. You've seen the little widget that goes in the bottom of the phones. So your fingerprint reader or your fingerprint will be encrypted with the same information, so that only you can get in to your own laptop. It's a dual operating system. So it runs Windows 10 and their newly developed crypto data, which is their company, Crypto Data OS operating system. And he went on to say that there will be a transition period where they will run and come with both operating systems, but they fully anticipate to drop Windows once the confidence in the WIM and in the Crypto Data OS grows. So it's just as a transition thing. So your private key, as I mentioned, from your phone, you can take from your phone and you can plug it into the laptop. So it syncs with and is interchangeable with the laptop. There's a secondary display. So when the laptop is closed, there's a little panel. The laptops come preloaded with K-Merchant, and you can scan the QR codes through that little panel. So you don't actually have to, have your laptop opened up. You could just have it on the surface in your shop and activate the sales directly from this little window. Excuse me. It's also got a SIM card slot, so it's basically a mobile phone as well. You can pop your SIM card in if you wanted to carry one piece of equipment with you, and obviously Wi-Fi capable. So yeah, as I say, everything you'd expect and more. The software spec is quite amazing. He explained about how you may be aware that recently, if you get an email from Carrot Bars, they've included in the footer of the email a token, something that you can copy, and there's a special website that you can go in, paste this code into there, and it will check to make sure that it is an official email from Carrot Bars. That he explained was their first test of using CarrotNet. So basically what he's saying is that all email that is delivered over the blockchain and via the WIM is encrypted, and there will be no such thing as spam emails anymore. It'll only be sent from the person it's sent to and received by the person it's supposed to be received by, which again is huge. He talked about a blockchain storage cloud, so similar to iCloud if you use that, which again they've developed in-house. The WIM comes preloaded with K-Merchant and Carrotbit. It also has an encrypted web navigation tool. So again, from a safety point of view, when we're surfing the net, when we're going into websites, it's so secure we can't be redirected to somebody's tried to redirect us to a fake website to log into. That can't happen under this environment. He also talked about a blockchain social media platform, which he said he's not revealing too much yet. They're obviously leaving that. There's enough surprises yesterday without needing to reveal that one. But obviously something to do with the privacy for when we're on the likes of Facebook and Instagram and what have you. The Vault box is what we've got on the phones anyway, so that's just a storage area, as is the wallet manager. Crypto data app marketplace, he didn't really go into what that was. We can all hazard a guess, I suppose.
I think we may be losing her.
Described as being like a desktop where you'd have all your apps for easy access. So again, oh shame. Hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, you're fine. I'll give you a message
Okay.
if you're not, so keep going.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Livy. So hopefully you did catch all that I was saying about the software spec.
Yep.
People can read it there anyway. Yeah. So security options, as you would imagine, with the most secure laptop in the world. Fingerprint recognition, you can use a PIN number. It's got Face ID. So again, blockchain encrypted. It takes an image, takes dimensions, takes all sorts of things of your face. So he was explaining that you couldn't hold up a picture, in the computer, try and match your face from a picture. It's actually, it's got to be physically you. And then obviously you can use a password for access as well, and the worm guard, which was as well. Again, during the transition period, he was explaining how the voice over blockchain protocol will work with regular mobile networks, which has been one of the questions that I think we've all sort of had as to how that would work if somebody rings us or we ring somebody and they're not on the blockchain, or they're not they're on their regular network. And he said that it will connect with everything in the interim until it becomes a more popular platform. So that's good news. And you can see the price there, 2,600 euros for the WIM computer. So that was all pretty mind-blowing. And if you get a chance to have a look at the videos that he was showing, that they all looked very smart, very cool. Then we had our Joseph, who was very, very hard to understand. Bless him. Nitsa got up on stage with him and helped to just emphasize some of the main points. He had actually the biggest announcements, so trying to decipher those was interesting. But he started out talking about the gold standard bank and how we as affiliates can profit from it. So he was talking about, and this was mentioned in the K merchant section as well, that 50% of all fees, so whether somebody's paying in crypto or in fiat through K merchant or via the bank, 50% of all the fees generated will go back into the community, back to us as commissions and all the benefits and things that we receive, and 50% goes to the company to help to run everything that they're providing for us. So he talked about there being so you would have basically a gold standard bank account where your commissions would be paid into. It'd be like an online account, and then you can transfer and do with whatever you wish with it. So you can keep it as coins. You can so obviously the fees are being paid in KBC coins. So I presume that our commissions would be for this received in KBC coins. And he said you could keep it as coins or transfer it to fiat. So, but again, hopefully some more clarification on that. So he was saying that when we're signing up merchants for K Merchant, then we can open them a Gold Standard Bank account. One of the questions I had with K Merchant from going through the training was, if a merchant chooses to receive their cryptocurrency and then withdraw it into their own local currency, into fiat currency, there was mention of it being they could withdraw on a weekly basis. What Joseph was saying here was that if they've got the K Merchant account linked to a Gold Standard Bank account, their income would be in real time. So their fiat, if they transfer, they get paid in Bitcoin, and they choose to transfer it or withdraw it as fiat, then that would go directly into their Gold Standard Bank account, whereas they would need to wait a week to do it into their normal bank account or their non-crypto bank account. His goal, or their goal, is to be number one, to be the first in the world in 5 years. And having watched everything yesterday, I'm in little doubt that they will achieve this. So they talked about the fact that there's cards, or the accounts have various levels, similar to our rankings, so bronze, silver, gold, VIP, platinum, black, that sort of thing. I don't know at this stage how you qualify for a status, or how those are allocated. But as a Gold Standard Bank account holder, depending on the status that you have, you will have a card for your account. The lower account levels will have a debit card. The higher account statuses will also have the facility to have a credit card. And he was talking about the fact that the Karatbars community, so us as affiliates, will have more advantages as a card holder. So whatever that means, but we're obviously being given a priority positioning with these cards because we're already affiliates. Excuse me. And again, as the cards are used and fees are generated from the various transactions, 50% of all those fees comes back to us as bonuses and commissions and how they pay us. So again, pretty huge. He went on to K Merchant then and talked about how the K Merchant, the first 6 months will be free for all merchants, and after that they will pay a measly $200 in KBC. He went on to explain Watchman, but I've had a look into today. So Delacour in Geneva, and their website looks absolutely phenomenal. They likened, or Hitzer was talking with him at this stage, and they likened it to the caliber of a Rolex. So Delacour were one of the first merchants to test K Merchant. They've got a multi-billion turnover, and after 2 weeks of advertising that they were going to be accepting crypto payments through their stores, their turnover tripled. So they've obviously attracted a whole new customer set by being able to accept cryptocurrency. He talked about them working together to develop lots of models, and he talked about through Karatbars Precision. Now, I'm not sure if that's something that's on the main net. It was very hard to understand both of them talking at this stage, and he said you'll be surprised how soon this is a reality. So I'm sure we will find out more about that, but it sounds very exciting. And he talked about that they're developing the first ever blockchain watch, which is a special premiere for Karatbars. Again, no idea. Any thoughts, Jeanette? What a blockchain watch?
I don't know. It sort of puzzled me because I thought maybe it's got something to do with, like, how you can have what are those watches? I don't have.
Like the Fitbit, the smartwatch.
Yeah, like a smartwatch. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's going to tie in because we've got the phone, we've now got the laptop, so there's nothing to say we can't have the watch. It's
Yeah,
pretty amazing, you know, like listening to all the videos. It's just super cool.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
place, right time.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, all these things are obviously in very summarised form from what I could glean from all this information, and you know, I'm sure it'll all be padded out um, once everybody gets back from the event and we start to get the information through. He then went on to talk about stage 2, as he called it, and he announced that there's a development with a new gold mine that's in Brazil. They're beginning operations on the gold mine on the 15th of December, and it's been confirmed that there's about 2,000 tonnes of gold in the underground, obviously, in that mine. Because of this you know, new venture with the mine, the next company event will be on the 15th of December in Sao Paulo in Brazil, and he said 50,000 people. Yeah, don't know, but that's what he said. I think Knitzer was up on the stage with him at that stage and said, wow, really, you know, because they were only talking 30,000 for the global summit next year. So we'll see. He then said they would present the next steps of the project. How could there be any more? And he then said, which is brilliant news, that because the likes of Brazil and Russia and a few more fairly major league countries were starting to come on board, they have decided to extend the KCB pre-sale until the 15th of December, with, I think I understood them saying, with the current bonuses, but also with bigger bonuses. So that's fantastic. We could carry on collecting all those KCB coins ready for all this stuff to happen. So the next thing he talked about was the delivery on the K1 phones. He mentioned that the situation in Hong Kong, you know, the rioters or the protesters at the airport have delayed things slightly, and he couldn't remember whether it was 25 or 50,000 units, but he said whichever of those it is will be shipped in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and that everybody who's ordered a phone will receive their phones in the next 4 weeks, which is very exciting. 500 CEMs are ready, and they will be delivered in the next 2 weeks. And as you can see there in bold, we will be able to withdraw from the CEMs without limit to withdraw the cash gold. So again, without any further knowledge on that, there was no mention of any change to carat bit and the 100 grams, the 100 KBC to 1 gram a day. So I don't know if there's any change to that, but what it does mean is that we can stack up QR codes and go to a machine and withdraw as much as we have QR codes for. So then the huge announcement, which he talked about as being the insurance for everyone. And Nitsa, after this was announced, she said that when you talk to somebody about what we've got with our project, with our ecosystem, with everything that's going on, and you get the response when people say, but it's one of them things, isn't it? It's one of them pyramid thingies. This just dispels everything. So basically on the 15th of December, I don't know again whether it's the whole company or whether it's the Gold Standard Bank, whether it's what part of it, but the announcement was we will be the first regulated cryptocurrency blockchain technology financial company on the stock market. So we will be listed in Frankfurt initially. The second listing will be in London, third in New York, the fourth in Johannesburg, the fifth Singapore and Hong Kong, and then I presume the rollout just continues from there. So, again, phenomenal. That just, we are now stakeholders in what is going to be a publicly floated company. Then we had our Harold, who is just hilarious, bless him. Love watching him do his presentations. He talked about the Bahamas Disaster Fund. I hope that everyone has seen the posts that are being done by the likes of Priska King and Nitsa. They have rushed through a design on a classic card for I think it's like Save Bahamas, or I can't remember what the wording is on it, but something, to like you know what I mean, about the Bahamas. So what he was saying is that not just that card, obviously we can buy that card to support the disaster fund, but he then said all cards, all classic gold cards, they will donate €5 from every sale for the next month to the disaster fund. Plus they're also giving a lump donation to that as well, being the generous company that they are. Briefly, he touched on and showed some images of a new Karatbars website. So he said it will be available in the next 2 weeks, and it will have everything in one place. So he was saying that you can send somebody to that website, and you could see that there was pictures of the CEMs on there, and presumably he's got everything in one place rather than all the sort of little joined up or not so joined up pages that we've got to send people to at the moment. And he also said that it will be connected to all Karatbars websites that we have. So hopefully it's a tool for us to be able to use as a hub to access, Karatbars, Karat Gold, Karatbit, Karat Pay, all from one screen or one central point. It will be awesome, Lee, and also less confusing, for people coming into it, because even us who have got used to it and have, we've got used to having the multiple websites. I know even when I first looked at it and we had, the black screen and the white screen, it was even trying to understand, that. So, hopefully they've done some work towards simplifying that, but we won't have to wait too long to find that out. He then talked about the old K Exchange site, which I don't know whether that is still going to exist in its old format, and then this is an add-on. But he was showing that there's banner ads and categories and ways to advertise. So as part of this whole focus on providing solutions to businesses through K-Merchant, through cash gold machines, through phones and computers, that they can advertise on the K Exchange site, and the adverts themselves will generate commission. So how, we don't know, but another lovely passive income stream. So then the new incentives was announced by Harold. It runs until the 15th of December for the event in Brazil. Again, I think I've got all the detail of these packs, but I might not have fully, because that was hard to understand. But we know that the WIM, the computer, is going to cost €2,600. So he said that will come with 100% KCB bonus. That it will also include a $500 worth of advertising budget for the merchant to be able to advertise on the K Exchange site, and it will also, so it will have 100% KCB bonus to both buyer and seller. So 5,200, the value of the WIM plus 100%. So 5,200 KCB coins to both buyer and seller. Then there was a combo pack, being the WIM and the K1 phone, with exactly the same thing, 100% with the value of the pack, and then 100% bonus on top of that. And there was a €1,000 advertising budget for the merchant attached to that. So 10,400 KCBs for each of the buyer and the seller. Then he talked about a new way to get incentives to win either a phone or a computer by registering 10 UK merchant accounts. So that's a free app. It's not, you're not having to sell anything to anybody, but it's just getting those registrations, getting 10 new registrations, and sell one 2,600 pack, and you would win a K1 phone. If you did the 10 registrations and you sold one of the 5,200 combo packs, then you will win a whim. You will win a computer. So that was all huge. Then he goes on to this. So he says the top 10 prizes, this is only for the big players, the game changers, he said. If you register 30 new UK merchant accounts and you generate at least 35,000 euros worth of turnover from these win packs, so from the new packs, there was 10 top prizes, starting with 10,000 KCBs, and you can imagine the build up as he went through, got to 5 and 6 being Rolexes, and then asked who needs something new to drive, and announced the top 4 prizes, the top one being a Lamborghini. So some or 4 lucky people are going to come out of this incentive with a pretty fabulous car. Phew, like that to be me, really. My husband's already put the order in. Okay, and then just a little bit at the end that he added that they've reduced the qualification for matching bonus. So I'm pretty sure he said starts on the 5th of next month, so the 5th of October. And the requirement is that you only need to have earned 25 euros in commission per week to qualify for the matching bonus. And I've just put in a little explanation at the bottom there to do with the matching bonus, just in case you're not fully aware, that in order to be eligible for matching bonus, you personally must have had cycles or at least the 25 euro direct commission from the dual system, so dual commission in the previous week, in the previous pay period. If you have, then you qualify for 5% dual commission on each affiliate in your downline's volume if they have qualified for dual commission. So it's a bit complicated. It's all where you see those 2s and 4s and 2.5, 2 euros 50 that don't half add up if you've got stuff going on in your team below you. So that's just lowered the requirement so that more of us can qualify for that particular income stream. So I've rattled through it. If anybody watched the full 3 hours, you'll know that it was nothing like as easy and formatted as that. There's so much to take in. As Jeanette said, it's going to be sinking in for a while, and I'm sure that there will be lots of information coming from the likes of Sean and Shameen and the other leaders who were there to validate this and to give us more information on these points. But pretty exciting stuff, team.
Thanks, Sarah, for doing a rundown. Look, it is amazing, and I think it does, as you say, it takes our business to the next level. Not
Yes.
Are we just a gold company, or not are we just having our KBC and our KCB coin, but we're leaders. We're leading the way with technology. We're leading the way with the regulation of the crypto side of things. Now think about it, our coin is backed by gold. Gold is regulated, so I can understand when that's coming from, and also being able to understand why we need to have the gold standard bank, because there is a wealth transfer, whether you believe when it's going to happen. And this, I think, is very smart on Harold's behalf, because he's working with leaders in governments and in financial institutions. So very, very smart to be able to have the input into, how he would like things to move. And believe it or not, the blockchain technology is what a lot of the financial and the government institutions are looking towards as well. So we're in a really, really, really good place. And of course, the company just keeps giving, giving, giving. You know, I think I'll have the Porsche. You can have the Lamborghini.
All right, thanks, mate.
Okay.
I'm not really fussy. I'll have any of them.
Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing so we can actually have a little look at the chat box because I saw some things. So
yeah, Kelly's just asked if I can share. I'm happy to, from my point of view, and I specifically said that it was unofficial, because obviously it's just my take on what I've heard or what I've tried to understand from the videos. So yes, I'm happy for anyone to have it, but obviously just be careful until we've got official word on all this.
okay, what I think we will do, Sarah, is we'll pop it into our group because it's in there. I'll pop this recording in so everybody can have a little listen on the recording, because unfortunately, if it does get shared around, there's a slight bit of information. As Sarah said, it's unofficial. There's going to be lots of official things coming out. We've got our director's call in a couple of hours, so a lot more will come from that. But yeah, look, it's going to be in the Karatbars Down Under group, the builders group. So that's where I'll pop this recording so that everybody can, listen back to it and you can see it on there. So, but no, fabulous, fabulous news came out of Amsterdam. I can't wait to sort of digest it more and more. So does anyone have any questions?
Lee has asked if I know what the cost of the cards are. The answer is no, Lee. That finer detail will come out, as we find out more. They're just dangling carrots at the moment to show us the way, show us what's coming. Oh, Mary. Yes. K-Merchant is where we all need to be focused. That's the direction that the business, and for us to get mass adoption, then obviously that's what they're encouraging us with this competition, to get 30 K-Merchants signed up to get one of those fabulous cars. And really, it's just a conversation. It's a conversation with a merchant to say, do you accept cryptocurrency? Yes or no? Would you like to? If they don't, they'll have reservations. They'll have reasons why they can't. And then we've got a solution that they can download a free app. They can trial it. And, if it does anything like it does, it's done for, this fabulous watch manufacturer who's, at the top of their game. Your local stores, could see their turnover and their profits increase. So it's a no-lose win-win situation for us and for them.
And I think just adding to that is a lot of the traditional business owners out there, like your bricks and mortar businesses, really are so busy, building their business and being a part of their business that they forget that they need to stay ahead of their competition. So this is a fabulous way for them to,
point of difference.
Point of difference, and also open up their clients, their customers, to not only the people who want to pay in dollars and cents, but to the crypto world, because more and more people are delving into our crypto space, into our crypto world. So they're just going to be so ahead of the game. And yes, Lee, I can pop it in there too, love.
Jeanette, can I just ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
This is all pretty exciting, and I sort of just took it in, and I didn't take it in. It's all there. But can I just ask about the hard fork? Okay, so the hard fork happened in the last day? No.
The hard fork won't be happening until after our coins, so that'll be in December, because what they've done is look, there's lots of talk about India opening up the crypto space. There's lots of talk about Russia, etc. So this is just a way for those countries to become involved in our in Karatbars. So they've actually pushed it back. So when it happens, they'll let us know.
And then the KCB and the KBC will become one in our back office.
Yeah, you won't have to do anything. It'll just happen. So what they've done is just push it back. So it'll be whenever they announce the hard fork, but it will be not before the 15th of December because we've still got our KCB coins. So really, it's a great opportunity to get some more because our ecosystem will run on KBC. So the more KCBs you can accumulate now to convert at the hard fork means that you'll be able to, you know, operate your phones, you'll be able to operate your computer, you'll be able to operate all those things that where you need that coin. So it's a blessing for us because we can actually accumulate more, which means we don't have to go and then buy them on the exchange when we run out. So it means that we can get them at that smaller price and then we can just operate our whole businesses through that.
Okay. But also, if you imagine the demand for the KBC coins, once we have people using the phones and the computers and, you know, and using the bank transaction on K Merchant, the demand for the coin is only going to grow. And once we get to the cap of the number of coins, you know, the supply cap, it'll only be the coins that you and I hold will be the only ones in circulation. So for people to be able to use the products within the ecosystem, they're going to want our KBC coins. And the only way they're going to be able to buy them is to pay the price on the exchange. And that's what pushes the price up.
Okay.
So it becomes supply and demand. So when people want to, like, you think about it, how many businesses around there rely on, you know, having privacy in their business? You've got lawyers, you've got accountants, you've got bankers, you've got all those sort of people. You imagine when they hear that our phone and our computers can be totally safe, they won't have to pay for cyber insurance. You know, they won't have to pay for all of that type of thing. All they'll need to do is purchase the phone and the computer and they'll have that protection. So, of course, they're going to be wanting to utilise it. So, as Sarah said, supply and demand, that means that our coin will become very, very important in our ecosystem. So,
cool.
Yeah, so it's fabulous.
Okay. Cheers.
Welcome. Okay, I'm just reading the chats here. Yes, I agree. Huge market for the investor. Yes, it certainly is. Dame Mary, lovely to have you on board. Okay, so anyone have any other questions? Now, just remember, this is only what you've heard on the videos from Amsterdam. So they're, you know, and you've got to realise that these guys, English is their second language. So it becomes very difficult. They try their hardest, but sometimes what they have here and what comes out here is not necessarily the same. So we're just going to...
Germlish.
Yes, it is. We wanted to give everybody an update, but just please, if there is something does slightly change, it's only because of interpretation. So this is what we had an overview and we wanted to share with you guys tonight. So pretty amazing stuff. So
I'm sure we'll get the complete lowdown from Miss Nitzer tonight.
In a couple of hours.
Yeah. She always puts a fabulous take on everything. So if there's anything that I've missed from going through the videos or that I've interpreted incorrectly, then obviously I will update the document and highlight any changes to you in the group, in the Character Down Under Wealth Builders group.
Yeah, and we'll pop it into the New Zealand group as well so that you guys can have access to it as well. Yes, it's very exciting stuff, Carl. Now, as Carl also mentioned, remember, I'm hoping that everybody understands that, you know, you have your second account, so you also can purchase through your second account. What I mean by second account is, like, for myself, it's my husband's account. I do everything through his account, which means that I get my commissions, I get my units, and we'll get all of the matching bonuses as well. So everybody who has somebody that they can share with who's over 18, by all means do that, because then you can maximise the benefits of this whole ecosystem. So that's pretty great. Yeah, we do.
We do.
We actually do need a Carrot Bars Radio podcast.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, between you and Mary, because she's a character too, it would be a delight to listen to the pair of you.
We might have to organise something, Dame Mary. We could have, we could have a little competition on what we'd call it, and we could just do it once a week.
It would be extremely entertaining and invaluable, I'm sure.
Yeah, so do I. So we'll have to get together and work something out. The thing is that, it's amazing, and there's so many people out there who really don't know what we have. Please don't get hung up when someone says no or it's a scam or whatever. Just move on, because you think about our project and having it listed on those exchanges. We are going to be a household word. I would say in the next 12 months, 2 years. So just imagine the people that said no will be coming to you and saying, okay, what's this about, and joining, because we always know you have early adopters and then you have mass adoption. So the mass adoption will come. We just happen to be in the best position to benefit from what we have going on now.
15th of December is the first one, Desi. So Mr. Height said that the 15th of December was when we were going on to the stock market, with Frankfurt being the first, and then he reeled off, in the order that they presumably are targeting or applying or whatever, however it works for the various other exchanges. So I don't know how long that timescale takes, whether it's short period of time or in quick succession. We'll just have to wait and see. But, lots to come, lots happening, and the fact that we've still got our KCB coins, that's the whole thing, the massive credibility, and as he was saying, it's insurance. We've all got naysayers, we've all got people that have given us reasons as to why they don't want to get involved, or they think they don't think as highly of it as we do, and you can hold your head up knowing what you know, and you just say to them, I'm glad I know what I know, not what you do, because you've made a choice, you've made a financial decision to to do something and put some belief in this company, and boy are they. I said to Jeanette when we were talking the first thing this morning, the amount of money behind this company for them to be offering those incentives to see the extent of their server room, that's got to be millions of euros, dollars, whatever, worth of kit. There's serious investment, and that's what a video was alluding to when he was talking about it being dynamic. Was that they've got the expertise, they've got the financial backing, they've got they've got us, they've got the what's the word I'm looking for, Jeanette?
Well, we are really like their sales and marketing. We're like their
community,
and we're sharing that.
Yeah,
and that's what's really important. And in answer to your question, Dame Mary, is that yes, we have. Actually, Harold did a little video, because what Gold Standard Bank and Carrot Bars are doing, the governments are starting to look and are starting to invite Carrot Bars to come to the, negotiations on the government side of things, because the government and the financial institution realise that they're in big trouble. So, yeah, there's a lot of, further discussions happening, so it's pretty cool that this could be, who knows, our cash gold and everything else could be the new currency. We just don't know. So let's watch this.
We should tell them our conversation we had this morning with Chris in the background. And Jeanette, remember in the old days, remember the great granny Jeanette when you didn't have this cash gold? Can you imagine? What did they used to use?
Yes, we were having a bit of a laugh this morning, because we could see ourselves as being pioneers, and it was quite funny. Telling our grandchildren back in the old days. And that's what happens. You think about it when, the pioneers were coming out with the credit cards and plastic cards, that they
They'll
now
never catch on.
yeah, and it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
In the right place at the right time. So I'm really excited about to see what's happening, and I'm really excited because really we are affiliates. When we know the value of us personally, we know what we have. We still share it with other people, but it's also an exciting time now because we can share it with businesses and make an impact on them. And that's what I'm really, looking forward to, because I believe that businesses need us and we need them. So our whole ecosystem can continue to grow. So pretty exciting.
And that's been proof with, any conversations any of us have had with business owners, or those of us who are business owners can see how exciting and the potential of the likes of K Merchant.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's validation in itself.
Okay, so does anyone have
anything
else to add?
Question, please.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you know the answer to this yet, but with the new website that's coming, will we have to do all new KYCs again for everything, or will that all just come across?
Fingers crossed it all comes across. When I first started back diddly squat, I was always told that because the reasons we had the different websites was because as they were developed, we got them. We got them. Like say, as Carrotbit was developed, there you go, there was Carrotbit. I was always told that there was going to end up being one website. How they ever integrate it, I'm not certain. We'll just have to wait. There might, from what, because like we've got our Carrot Pay, we've got our Carrotbit, we've got all that. I'm hoping it's all just under one banner and we drop down. That's what I'm hoping, but I have no idea. Haven't seen it, but it would probably integrate quite easily that way. Wait and see.
Yeah, I think whatever we get will be a great step in the right direction, that can then be built on to simplify things, which is always good.
Sorry, I just read Mary. The dentures in the jar.
Yeah, we had that conversation too.
Anyway,
are we allowed to start sort of advertising the name and things like that to sort of say how exciting it is that we've got a new laptop coming out and things like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. What you heard, and what we've put, yeah, most definitely, because it integrates now and shows the world that we are leaders in blockchain technology, because we have the first of everything, and there'll be others to follow. Other companies, don't worry, will be hot on our tails. So, yeah, great way. It's just a case of get it out there, go for gold, grab as many KCBs as you can along the way.
Absolutely.
See you, Kelly. So, yeah, look, it's exciting. And I think it's really even more exciting because there's more countries that are being opened up to. Russia's huge. And I know there's the little bits and pieces with regards to India and their crypto side of things. That's pretty exciting as well.
We're still so new in Asia as well, and that's going to be a huge market. I know they recognise with the voice over blockchain being huge for Asia. So it just gives us more time to get into those markets, especially with the World Tour events there at the start of the I think is Singapore this weekend. Yeah, 21st was the first one, and then can't remember the dates for Manila, but they're in the early part of the tour, aren't they?
Yeah, and also just remember, guys, there's early bird tickets for the tours for here and for New Zealand and for Australia. And the fabulous part about it is Brisbane is the 14th of December, so Netza will be here in Australia when the next lot of announcements come out, so that's going to be really huge. So she's spending a month in Australia, which is fabulous. So lots of exciting, between New Zealand and Australia. So yeah, it'll be really exciting to have her, and I believe Joel's coming and Sean's coming. Sean will be doing a couple of events. He can't stay the whole time, unfortunately. But hey, we've got some powerhouse leaders who have decided to come down and support Australia and New Zealand. and we may as well take advantage of it and just pack the venues and get bums on seats, because that'll just show how we are moving forward. It's not just Europe and Canada and America, etc. That New Zealand and Australia have the ability to just power on, because we are very open to a lot of things where a lot of countries aren't. So pretty amazing.
Can I just ask a question, Jeanette?
Sure.
Those other countries that you just mentioned about, like Singapore, Russia and all that, can we advertise there in groups?
I would just check in the back office first. Let me just double check to see what we can do. We don't want to have a mass adoption because we don't have the support network to follow up with it. So it means that if you're going to go for any of those countries, yes, by all means, but just filter them through one at a time. You don't want to be bringing on somebody who's a network marketer and they got like 20,000 people, and all of a sudden that 20,000 people has to do KYC. It will just be a total disaster. So if you're looking at those countries, do them slowly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'll have a look in the back office. So, and just see where those countries are and pop that in.
And is everyone like here going to Brisbane?
As what do you mean?
As for the event?
The event.
Oh, as in who do you call everyone, Sarah?
Well,
Shayna?
People in Australia, within Australia.
Well, they've got choices because they can go to Perth, they can go to Brisbane, they can go to Melbourne, and they can go to Echuca Moama.
Okay.
So I will be at all four of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have to.
And to answer your question, Mary, no, she's not. She'd be too busy preparing for the 4 events that she's got running back to back. 3 days, 4 days
I'm just
after our
wondering
last
which
one.
But for me, it's kind of quicker for me to go to Melbourne than what it is to Brisbane.
But
Brisbane's a better spot, so come up here, Shayna.
Oh, it's warmer, I know, but it's a bit of a mish for me to get to Brisbane. Where if I go to Melbourne, I just got to go to Maria, which is like an hour away, hop on a little Rexy and fly to Melbourne. Which will probably work for me.
By that time, Shane, Melbourne will be warmer too, December.
Yeah, look, yeah.
Nice.
Look,
what you Victorian people, Mexicans, be there. You're south of the border.
Well, we could have this discussion forever, but hey, listen, it's great. It's a great opportunity and by the time December comes, there'll be a lot more people who will have heard of Carrot Bars, because everything that's happening is just boosting the credibility of the company. So it's a great time and like everybody knows, you get people into the venues when somebody's speaking. They get to feel that, hey, it's not just you and I having that conversation. They realise there's like 200 other people who are already involved, and it does make a huge difference. And having Nitsa, she's a beautiful lady. I've been lucky that I got to spend quite a few hours with her in Cape Town, and she's, she Zooms and she's very passionate about Australia and New Zealand. And she is a powerhouse. When you get to spend 5 minutes with her, you just come off buzzing. She just has a really amazing vibration about her, and she's just so passionate about, sharing this with every single person because she believes it makes a difference. And she's just totally, a little bit of a rock star.
So. You're all a rock star. You're a rock star, Jeanette. And so are you, Sarah.
Oh, bless.
Break out the guitars. The golden guitars.
Does that mean we have to put our leather on as well?
I'll have to find a song for you both.
The yin and the yang.
That golden toilet.
Oh, yeah. That was so good.
Just get him to sing some Tina Turner.
Did you chip?
I'll find a song for you both.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, does anyone have any other questions? Otherwise, I know it's getting late. It's been an hour, so it's fabulous.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 hours. We've got 3 hours.
Yeah,
before we're up again.
Before we're up again. So let's just wait and see the official, but that's just a heads up on what is coming, and it's pretty amazing. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being on. Fabulous to have you listen to all the exciting news. And, yeah, let's just start getting our heads together and thinking about, which businesses can we go and approach. It's so, don't go working yourself up about it. It's just a great way for them to jump on board and be a part of this journey as well.
Awesome.
Okay, ladies, gentlemen, thank you so
Right.
much. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.
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 Night.
See you.